How did a team that won 69 NASCAR Cup Series races, earned 2 Cup Series championships, and even saw all 4 of its cars reach the round of 8 in 2018 end up shutting down completely? Stewart-Haas Racing, once a powerhouse with legendary drivers like Tony Stewart and Kevin Harvick, is dissolving right before our eyes. But why? Was it the loss of key sponsors, the leadership issues, or something even deeper? How could a team with such a rich history and so many wins fall apart so quickly? In this video, we uncover the real story behind the shocking downfall of Stewart-Haas Racing. The first official report came from Matt Weaver, who described the emotional scenes inside Stewart-Haas Racing as Tony Stewart addressed his employees. "We have made the difficult decision to close Stewart-Haas Racing at the conclusion of the 2024 season. It is a decision that did not come easily, nor was it made quickly. Racing is a labor-intensive, humbling sport. It requires unwavering commitment and vast resources with a 365-day mindset to be better than everyone else. We've reached a point in our respective personal and business lives where it's time to pass the torch." The announcement highlighted the immense pressures and demands of maintaining top performance in racing. For a team that had achieved so much, the decision to close was a bitter pill to swallow. As the news spread, employees, fans, and the broader NASCAR community were left grappling with the reality that this iconic team would soon be no more. How did it come to this? What exactly was the catalyst that led to the downfall of such a powerhouse? To fully understand this story, let's go back a bit. Are you keeping pace with our channel? Rev up your enthusiasm. Don't let the checkered flag wave without you. Hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and let's keep NASCAR culture racing. Back to the story. Tony Stewart left Joe Gibbs Racing in 2009 to form Stewart-Haas Racing, merging with the old Haas team. From the start, the team saw incredible success. In 2009, both Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman made the chase. Stewart spent most of the year leading the points, proving that the newly formed team was a force to be reckoned with. 2010 saw solid performances from Stewart, though Newman struggled. Despite this, both drivers made the chase again in 2011, where Tony Stewart went off and won 5 of the 10 chase races, securing the championship in a tiebreaker with Carl Edwards. By 2014, Kevin Harvick had joined the team, and his impact was immediate. Harvick won the NASCAR Cup Series championship that year, solidifying SHR's status as one of the top teams in the sport. Kurt Busch joined in 2014 as well, despite Tony Stewart finding out about the move through SportsCenter, hinting at early internal communication issues. Nonetheless, Busch's presence only strengthened the team. 2018 was a pinnacle year for SHR, with all 4 cars making it to the round of 8 in the playoffs. Their performance at Talladega, where they ran 1, 2, 3, 4 for most of the race, was a testament to their dominance. But even with these highs, cracks were beginning to show. The decline of Stewart-Haas Racing can be compared to other notable teams in NASCAR. For instance, Furniture Row Racing experienced a quick decline due to financial issues. Despite winning a championship, they couldn't secure enough sponsorship to stay afloat and shut down shortly after their peak. This sudden fall was very different from Roush Racing, which faced a more gradual decline due to leadership and strategic missteps. Once a powerhouse, Roush slowly dwindled from a 5-car team to a 2-car team, struggling to remain competitive. Stewart-Haas Racing's decline was a mix of these 2 scenarios, slow yet steady. The loss of veteran drivers like Kurt Busch in 2018 was a significant blow. Busch had been a consistent performer, bringing experience and skill to the team. His departure was a sign that things were starting to unravel. Clint Bowyer's exit in 2020 further deepened the void. Bowyer, another seasoned driver, had been a reliable asset. Losing these veterans created a gap that was hard to fill, and the team struggled to maintain its competitive edge. The failure to secure top talent like Kyle Larson was another critical blow. Tony Stewart had his eyes set on Larson, one of the most talented drivers in NASCAR. However, despite Stewart's efforts, Ford blocked the deal, and Larson ended up joining Hendrick Motorsports. This was more than just a missed opportunity. It was a turning point that many fans see as the beginning of the end. Larson went on to dominate with Hendrick, and Stewart-Haas Racing was left to wonder what might have been, but it didn't end there. Tony Stewart's decreasing involvement in NASCAR also played a significant role in the team's decline. As Stewart began focusing more on other ventures such as NHRA drag racing and the Superstar Racing Experience, SRX, his absence was keenly felt. Stewart had been the heart and soul of the team, and without his leadership and presence, the team's performance began to suffer. His decreasing involvement was not just a physical absence, but a symbolic one, reflecting a shift in priorities that left the team struggling. These factors combined to create a slow but steady decline for Stewart-Haas Racing. The financial and sponsorship struggles were a big part of what brought Stewart-Haas Racing down. When key sponsors like Anheuser-Busch and Smithfield left, it was a huge blow. These sponsors had been with the team for a long time, providing the funds needed to compete at the highest levels. Losing them wasn't just about the money, it signaled a shift in NASCAR and hinted at tougher times ahead. Getting full sponsorship for all the cars became a nightmare. Stewart-Haas Racing used to attract big-name sponsors easily, but as their performance dropped and the business environment got tougher, those deals became harder to come by. The team found itself struggling to fill sponsorship gaps, which made it nearly impossible to maintain the financial backing needed to stay competitive. NASCAR's business model didn't help either. The way NASCAR's finances work puts a lot of pressure on teams to secure sponsors just to stay afloat. Without enough sponsorship, keeping up technical alliances and staying competitive is nearly impossible. Stewart-Haas Racing ended up in this exact situation where the costs of staying at the top outweighed their ability to bring in revenue. These financial issues weren't just random problems, they were part of a larger trend that's hit many NASCAR teams. Keeping financially stable in a sport that demands such high investment is tough. The last few years of Stewart-Haas Racing, from 2021 to 2023, were pretty rough. They only managed to win 4 races in those 3 years, a far cry from their dominant days. Kevin Harvick was one of the few bright spots during this time. Even as the team struggled, Harvick kept performing at a high level, often carrying the team on his back. His ability to win and stay competitive showed his skill and determination, but it also highlighted the growing gap between his performance and the rest of the team. Harvick's efforts, impressive as they were, couldn't hide the bigger problems. The team that used to dominate was now struggling just to keep up. Races that used to see strong finishes and competitive drives turned into battles just to stay in the middle of the pack. By 2024, rumors about Stewart-Haas Racing's future were everywhere. There was talk of downsizing, shifting to different manufacturers, and even a complete team overhaul. Some speculated about moving away from Ford to another manufacturer, like Chevrolet or maybe even Honda if they entered NASCAR. These rumors were fueled by the team's ongoing struggles and a seeming lack of direction from leadership. Then came the bombshell announcement. Stewart-Haas Racing would shut down operations at the end of the 2024 season. This decision shocked everyone, employees, fans, and the entire NASCAR community. The team that had once dominated the sport and set records was now closing its doors. This announcement marked the end of years of decline, financial struggles, and leadership issues. So what's next for everyone involved with Stewart-Haas Racing? With the team shutting down, there are a lot of moving parts and plenty of speculation about where everyone will end up. First off, let's talk about the drivers. Chase Briscoe seems like a good bet to join the Wood brothers. Ford likes him, and the Wood brothers could use a shakeup after some lackluster performances. Then we have Josh Berry and Noah Gragson. Berry's been doing well and might land a solid spot, maybe even with front row if they pick up one of SHR's charters. Gragson's name has been thrown around with Richard Childress Racing, especially if they decide to expand or if someone like Austin Dillon steps back. Speaking of charters, SHR's 4 charters are hot commodities right now. Teams like 2311, Front Row, and Trackhouse are all in the mix to snag them. The market's buzzing with potential deals, and these charters could shift the balance of power in NASCAR quite a bit. Then there's the impact on the employees. Hundreds of talented folks are now looking for new jobs. It's a tough situation because the NASCAR community is tight-knit, but there aren't endless opportunities. Some will find new roles within other teams, but others might have to look outside of NASCAR, which is a harsh reality. In short, the future is uncertain for many, but there's also a lot of potential for exciting changes in NASCAR. The end of Stewart-Haas racing is sad, no doubt, but it also opens the door for new beginnings for drivers, teams, and employees alike. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments section.